You click on this video because you just graduated high school and you're thinking about which college to go to, what major that you should pick. I just want to give you some of my advice as a recent college graduate. It's been a year since I graduated college. I've submitted thousands, hundreds, if not thousands of resumes online through different websites and different company sites. And so far, I've gotten very minimal responses. And even if I do get an interview here and there, the job that I applied for isn't exactly the job that I was hoping to get after I graduated with a degree. So my advice to you, a recent high school graduate, is that I don't think going to college is a great idea if you're someone like me. Let me explain why. So I've been a C+ student all my life throughout high school. And upon graduation, I thought to myself, maybe I could get to a good college. And the reason why I think that is because if I just graduated high school, I would be qualified for college immediately. But that's not true. I submitted my application for one college and ended up getting declined. So I ended up going to community college. And at that point, when I saw all my friends who are in the same class, in the same school I grew up with in elementary school, they all went to pretty good colleges. And I was the only one that was left out. And at that moment I thought, maybe if I just go to a community college for a year, 2 years, get those credits and transfer it to a university later down the path. And because I was going into community college with the same mentality and the same work ethic as I was in high school, which is barely trying, not doing a lot of my homeworks, and just skipping classes. My first year of community college was not great because I failed half of my classes. That really crushed me because I was just goofing around. I was not trying my best, and there was nobody to hold my hand throughout the entire process. It wasn't like high school at all because you're responsible for everything. You're responsible for turning in your homework. You're responsible for keeping up with deadlines. You're responsible for studying and taking tests. So I failed half of my classes during my first year in community college. That ended up in a very bad spot for me because financial aid pulled away. I wasn't able to get government assistance to pay for college, so I had to pay for tuition out of my own pocket. At that point, it was the lowest point in my life. I feel like I'm at the bottom of the bottle. I feel like everything was shit because if I drop that, if I stop going to college, I have no idea what I'm gonna do with my life. I thought to myself, all of my friends are in college, they're in good colleges, and I'm the only one in community college that couldn't even get past community college. I was struggling with English 101. It's not like I am stupid. It's not like I couldn't follow the course materials. It's just like I'm just not disciplined enough to go through classes, to do the homework, to show up to class every day because I was lazy. I was messing around. And that really took a toll on me. This was back in 2019. This was during COVID. So I lost my job during COVID and I thought to myself, should I continue? Maybe I should just quit. Maybe I should just quit college because it's not for me. You know, I'm a C+ student at best. Even if I did pay for tuition out of my pocket, things are not gonna be any different than what I did last year. Because I failed half of my classes. What's the point of going to college if I'm gonna fail half of my classes again? And this thought really bugs me because it's just this self-doubt that I am a loser, that I'm worse than everybody else, that everybody was better than me, and that I'm stupid, that I'm worthless, that I'm a fucking loser. And during that time, I started working out, started doing 6-pack exercises in my house. And I was determined. I thought to myself, no matter what happened, I'm going to get a 6-pack because I'm going to force myself to eat right, to train every day, even if I don't feel like it, to push myself to my absolute best. And I just wanted to see what happened if I just didn't give up, just followed the routine every day to get a six-pack. And that mentality really translates to what I was going through at the time, because I was at the edge of thinking, maybe I should just quit school. I should just go to work. And after work, I would come home and I would work out. But then I was having a mental battle at the time. I was thinking, what if I just didn't quit? What if I pay my tuition? And what if I just kept going? What if I pay my tuition and I try my best, trying to get an associate degree at least? At the very bare minimum, I have to get past City College at least. That was a mentality that I've decided that I should stick with at the time, because through working out, I've developed this mentality, like, it doesn't matter what happened, I'm not gonna give up. So I transferred that mentality to college, and I started going to college just to have another chance at getting a degree. I know maybe I'm not smart enough to go through genuine university course material, but maybe I just want to try my very best and see what happens. And I did. Because of that mentality, because of that working out mentality, I've developed discipline. That leaks into so many aspects of my life. That made me think and see things very differently than I was. So during college, I was working for 40 hours a week, and I was going to school full time, and I was working out at least 2.5 hours a day. Not only did I got through community college, I transferred into university, and 4 years later, I got my bachelor's degree at a university. And I was just thinking things will go well. Things will turn out the way I want. I was holding on to my discipline, and I just thought this might get me through anything and everything that I'm going through in life. And this will help me accomplish my goals. And it doesn't matter what the challenge is, I am going to use this discipline, and I'm going to attack it, and I'm going to be successful. Fast forward a year after I graduate, I applied for many jobs. I'm hoping to get an entry-level job that pays at least $50,000 to $60,000, but things just didn't go my way. And my advice to you is that if you just graduated high school and you got your high school diploma, and you think things will turn out amazing after you graduated college and get that college diploma, I just wanted to let you know that if you're someone like me, doesn't have any technical skills, any actual monetizable skill, I would not recommend you to go to college, because I didn't know what I was gonna do after high school. So I just thought maybe if I major in marketing, which was my major at the time, I could learn more about business, and I could eventually start a business of myself. At the very least, I might be able to just get a corporate job that pays $50,000 to $60,000 a year. But what I came to realize is that the job market is so saturated up until this point. Everyone's got a degree. A degree literally doesn't mean anything. It just proves that, oh, you might have the academic discipline, but whatever company you apply for, the employer or the recruiters just ask for your experiences. They don't really care about your college degree. Yeah, it's great. Imagine if you have a college degree, 4 years college degree, bachelor's degree, and an employer has to choose between you and someone who has 4 years of actual experience in that job that you're applying for. Who do you think he's gonna pick? Now, if you know what you want to do, let's just say that you want to be an engineer, a lawyer, a doctor, something like that, and you need a degree, then by all means, go to college, pay your tuition, stay in college, graduate with a degree, a bachelor's, master's, or a PhD, if that's really what you want to do. For those of you that have a similar life like myself, I do not recommend going to college if you just wanted to major in something that's generic, like business, for example, or I don't know, what else, psychology. College degree nowadays, it's completely useless because there are more and more degrees being pushed out every year. A degree used to mean that you are more educated than the average person, but nowadays, you can get a degree in anything. If you're still looking at the lens of a college degree means everything, I suggest you figure something else out. I would recommend you to learn a skill, figure out what you want to do in life, Figure out your strengths and weaknesses, what you're good at, what you like to do, or what make you a lot of money, a job that pays well. I would recommend you to go look for an entry-level job and you'll gain experience. Imagine if I applied the same amount of discipline that I did in college, and I applied that same amount of discipline and hard work into something else, into a money-making skill, or into a job that will eventually pays well. Where would I be today? Now, if you just want to go to college for the network, for the relationship, and for the friendships that you might build along the way, then yeah, absolutely go to college. Because college will waste 4 years of your life. And imagine what you can do with that 4 years of the golden times of your life, when you're at your teens and 20s, when you can work all day if you like, and you recover really quick. So if you're freshly out of high school, I would recommend you putting that time and effort on developing yourself, on developing discipline, because overall it's discipline that will get you through the toughest times in life. Thank you for watching.